The bully behind the smile. At Morningside High, everyone knew Jake Turner. He was tall, confident, and always surrounded by people who laughed at his jokes, whether they were funny or not. But Jake wasn't just popular, he was feared. His favorite hobby seemed to be picking on anyone who didn't fit in. If you wore old shoes or stuttered when you spoke, you were on Jake's radar. One of his favorite targets was a quiet boy named Leo. Leo was smart, always had his nose in a book, and never fought back. Jake would push his backpack off his desk, call him names in front of the class, or trip him in the hallway. Everyone laughed. Even some teachers looked the other way. No one wanted to mess with Jake, but what nobody knew was what happened after school. Jake would walk home alone, no crowd, no laughter, no jokes. His house was small and quiet. His mom worked 2 jobs, and his dad, well, he was usually asleep on the couch, a bottle in his hand. Jake never told anyone how loud it got when the yelling started. He never told anyone how sometimes he went to bed without dinner, or how he had to wear the same shoes for 2 years straight because they couldn't afford new ones. One day, Jake cornered Leo near the school gate. He shoved his book out of his hands and said, "What's the point of reading all that stuff, nerd? Books can't save you." But Leo didn't flinch. He just looked up and said softly, "They saved me." Jake froze. Leo looked at him, really looked at him. "You're hurting, aren't you?" Jake's smirk faded. "What are you talking about? I don't know what happened to you, but hurting others won't make your pain go away." For the first time in a long time, Jake didn't have a comeback. He just stood there, eyes wide, fist still but trembling. The next day, something changed. Jake sat alone at lunch. He didn't trip Leo. In fact, he didn't say a word to anyone. The silence was louder than his voice ever was. Weeks passed. Slowly, Jake started showing up at the school library. At first, he just sat there. Then he started reading. And one day, he sat next to Leo. They didn't become best friends right away, but they talked about books, about life, about pain. Jake learned that being strong wasn't about how loud you yell. It was about being brave enough to change. And little by little, the bully behind the smile became someone new, someone real, someone better. The end.